Welcome. I'm going to go over just 86 because I'm going to use it to review a lot of things on this as a chi-square type of question. We haven't had one in a while. So let's take a look. It says the following two-way table resulted in the following. If H sub O is no association, if in fact it's true, what would be the expected count? So this is definitely a chi-squared test for an association because H sub O is there is no association, and H sub A would be, I believe there is some kind of an association between the two. So this is my formula off my formula sheet for chi-squared. Obviously in a chi-squared test, I have to take observed minus expected over expected, and these expected counts have to be at least 5, not 10 yeses and nos. 5. Okay, good review, loving it. So how do you calculate it? It's not on the formula sheet. So to calculate the expected, you take row total times column total over the grand total. So let's take a look. The row total, 92, column total, 82, grand total, 157. When I look at that, row total, column total, total, or grand total, I find that my answer is B. Row total times column total over total. Let's say you freeze. You don't remember this formula. Does the fancy calculator know it? Yes and no. So let's try this out. If I'm going to do a chi-square test, I'm going to go down. It is a stat test, and then I got my choices, chi-squared goodness of fit or chi-squared two-way test. So definitely this is a two-way test. Immediately it says, I need an observed matrix. So that's where you say to yourself, oh yeah, I got to put in a matrix, and I got to name it something, or it won't know what word to put in. So it looks like the questions they asked had to do with diplomas. So I'm going to name this diploma D-I-P-L-O. Okay, that's not how you spell diploma, but good enough. Now, remember, I have to hit control boxes. Now I have diplo colon equal sign. And then I hit boxes. Let me say that again. I hit control boxes and then boxes again. Now, I got to pick a two-way table, and this one is a 2 by 2. So there's actually a picture of a 2 by 2. If you have more than that, you can pick the 3 by 3 and just adjust. So I'm going to pick the 2 by 2 picture, and notice I'm excited. That's exactly what I wanted, 2 by 2. So let's do it. I go in there, diploma, I observed. So looking back here at my formula for chi-squared, these are my observations. So I observed 52, I observed 40, I observed 30, I observed 35. That was from my statistical study. Those were my observations. Okay, so I hit enter, and now the calculator told me, yep, I got your data. Now I can do a chi-squared test for independence, and I can do my expected counts. So I go menu, stats, stat test, chi-squared test, chi-squared two-way test. What's my observed matrix called? I called it diplo. So there it is. I choose it from my choices. Click enter, click OK. I'm loving it. Here we go. It doesn't tell me my expected counts, but it gives it to me in a matrix. But I'm going to use this to review anyway. So the chi-squared value is 1.64. So I can go into my tables and calculate the p-value, or what the probability of that outcome. I end up getting, I don't need to go to the tables though, because the calculator gave me a p-value of 0.2, which is not less than 0.05, so I'm going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. But that's not what the question asked. It wanted the expected counts. So I go var. See this var? Var. And it gives me the choices. I can pick the diplo expected matrices. And I did, and I'm going to hit enter, and there it is. So it asked you, what should you have expected this value 52 to be? You got 52, but what you should have expected it to be, and it calculated that at 48.051. Okay, this is the long way to do the problem, but I'm going to write that down. 48.051. 48.051. So that is pretty close. You expected 48 something and you got 52. And that's not very far off. I'm willing to bet if you did this in an easy calculator, you're going to get exactly that number. Let's test it out. 92 times 82, enter, divide by 157, enter. I get exactly the same answer, 48.051. That's the long way to do that. It's much easier if you memorize the formula, row total times column total equals over row total times column total divided by grand total would be expected. And a lot of times I like to write those in there, just beside there. So I expect to get 48.51, but I got 52. Thanks for joining us. Great review of chi-squared test for independence. Enjoy.